When you're a sports reporter, you're on a very, very long and thin leash to these players that you have to cover. They're very finicky and fidgety. If they like you, that means one thing. If they don't, that means another thing. Mainly, you're not going to be covering them for very long. So that means if the players are down with the cause, you better be down with the cause. And in the NBA, they are down with the cause. Now this white reporter who does a big NBA show, who's just a victim of some very nasty black mob violence and criminality, she might have a little bit of a harder time pretending she is down with the cause.
Nationally known television host here in Atlanta was carjacked and robbed at gunpoint at her Midtown apartment.
Kristen Ledlow says that she's doing fine, but she will not be staying any longer in that apartment complex. CBS 46 reporter Will Frampton caught up with Ledlow at the apartment off of Monroe Drive in Midtown and has the story.
I was standing here in front of the apartment complex when Ledlow walked out and came over to talk with me. She says the people who robbed her knew her name and knew exactly where to find her. If you've seen Kristen Ledlow before on NBA TV, you're not used to seeing her like this, upset and moving on as fast as she can from her apartment complex, Gables Midtown. Ledlow did not want to talk on camera. She says she first has to get through a meeting with her attorney and her managers at Turner Broadcasting. But she wrote on her Twitter account talking about the harrowing incident, saying, quote, "I was robbed at gunpoint by 3 men who knew who I was, where I lived, and were waiting for me when I got home. They stole my car, my purse, my wallet, my phone, and worst of all, my sense of security." This case apparently is just one example of a crime trend that's only gotten worse here in recent months. Car break-ins in particular.
You could definitely feel that that's definitely become more frequent.
This resident did not want to show his face, but told us he's lived here several years and has never had to worry about his car being broken into until recently.
Over the last 6 to 8 months, the crime has become, more frequent. We went from not having any security guards to having a security guard on the weekend to now we have 2 security guards that are here at all hours.
So if this reporter were not down with the cause, this is the kind of stuff she would do. She would have the black players come on her show and they would talk about Black Lives Matter the way they do on lots of sports shows. But then she would show them this clip and she would say, "Why is this black criminality against cops so wildly out of proportion?"
County men are charged after a shootout with a sheriff's deputy, and a third suspect is still on the run. Investigators say it started around 10 last night when the deputy tried to pull over a vehicle on Cleveland Road near Barber Mill Road. The sheriff says the driver refused to stop. The deputy started to chase them, and at least one suspect shot at the deputy. Investigators say the chase went into a cul-de-sac where the deputy got out of her cruiser to try to make an arrest. The suspect then drove at the deputy at a high rate of speed. She fired her weapon, hitting the car and causing it to crash. The suspects took off on foot. Deteal Lyons and Gerald Holmes III are both charged with attempted first-degree murder, among other charges.
Well, why did those black guys try to kill that cop? Why? Is it just because the cops just keep making the black kids angry?